everybody. Woohoo! We have made it through to the second chakra. So I am so proud of you guys. You guys are doing amazing work. You have already went through the welcome video with me. You've been super interactive. I have been loving getting these messages from you guys, and hearing all your epiphanies and your takeaways from diving into last night's call, the root chakra. So many of you have told me that it was revolutionary for you, that you guys learned things, that things started to make sense for you in a way they haven't made sense for a long time. And that is so much of the reasons why I wanted us to all dive into chakra work, so that we can collectively see how all these light bulb moments are going to continue to just make sense. But more importantly, you're going to start to really understand your body. Hi, Georgette. So anyway, when you hop on, please do as the beautiful Georgette just did, say hello. What that does is, what we are in, you guys, we are in a challenge. So I want to challenge you to be active, to check in like you just did, and let me know that you're here. What that is also going to do is get you access, because once again, since we're in a challenge, I want to make sure that you guys have an incentive to win a prize. So not only are you going to get the prize of giving back to yourself and learning more about you, but you're also going to get the prize of being able to win a 90-minute session with me. Those 90-minute sessions are going to be a chakra balancing session that we will do on the phone, where we're going to do, you know how we did that breath work last night and you guys got just a little taste of what that was like and how great that felt? Well, we would do about 60 minutes of breathing. And then the rest of that is going to be getting in tune with what it is what may be blocking you in your life. And we're going to really have a clarity session with that. So just by checking in, you get an entry for that. So make sure you're also following up on the emails, because I give you detailed descriptions on how to, thank you, Georgette, on how to also get additional entries. Also, one more thing before we dive in. I have had quite a few of you reach out that you need accountability buddies. So on the live yesterday and on the live the first day, there are people asking for accountability partners. If you are still in need of that, feel free to check those last lives or chime in today. If you still need an accountability buddy, that also gets you an entry, but more importantly, that gets you somebody you can talk to about if some things come up for you, as they will when we start diving in deeper to these chakras. Because like I told you, they're not just an energy center, they're an emotional center that has stored emotions for different things. And you may not even know what's in there until we really start digging in. Georgette said, the prize is this class. I love it. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Angie. Hi, Shamika. All right. So anyways, I wanted to go over, so I've had a lot of training in this, and one of the great trainings that I had is by this incredible lady named Judith. So I'm going to dive into a little bit of her material and tell you some beautiful things about chakras, and then we're going to dive into the sacral chakra. So as I start talking, before I want to see, yesterday I gave you guys a challenge, and I asked you to ask yourself about, where in my life do I not feel safe and what can I do about it? I would love to see if anybody was able to do that and what came up for you. If you feel comfortable sharing, that just kind of just helps other people be able to see, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that Angie shared that, because that made a light bulb go off for me. I never would have thought that was my root chakra. Or wow, Shamika made that make so much sense for me. So if anybody did that and had a takeaway from that, I would love to hear that in the comments. Secondly, I would love to hear, what do you all think the sacred chakra's purpose is? What do you think it does? Okay. So I'm going to start talking while you guys are typing. Let me know if at any point you're having a hard time hearing me, and I will make sure that I talk louder, or if I need to come back on, I can do that too, because this is a really great informational video tonight, and I want to make sure that we're all able to hear all of it. So once again, I'm going to dive into what Miss Judith said. The chakra system is an ancient model from the yoga tradition And what it does is it aligns with the nerves and the ganglia, which come out from the spinal column. Did anybody know that or even know what that means? So there are 7 basic centers and that are aligned down the middle of us, right? And they describe the architecture of the soul. And I love that she thinks that the chakras describe the architecture of the soul. And just as yoga teachers and healers study the architecture of the body and the spine and the muscles and the tissues, there really is a science and architecture to understanding our souls. And the amazing thing about us is that each soul is unique and each person has their own unique pattern. But what's even more cool is that we also have very similar patterns. Hi, Anna Marie. Hi, Kim. So just as we all have similar bodies, meaning most of us, our body structure is pretty similar. We all have, most of us have eyebrows in the same spot, a nose in the same spot, a mouth in the same spot, a throat in the same spot. It may look different on each person, but our structure is pretty much the same. However, we are all really unique, okay? So just as we all have similar bodies and facial structures in a sense, okay, we all have our own unique expressions. And when we begin to bring the life force energy into that, we begin to feel our aliveness within us to the maximum level, which makes us different than each person. So, what also she said is, it's not the meaning of life that we seek so much as it is to feel alive. Isn't that true? So, when you feel aliveness within you, the meaning of life becomes obvious. I love that. Elaine said, I just watched the first day replay. We'll check in about my homework from yesterday. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Good evening. Yes, we got some comments hopping in. Continue to do that. What do you all think the sacral chakra represents? So, anyways, back to what Miss Judith was saying. The programming that we carry, which we went over yesterday, right? The program that we carry or have is controlling how we feel. And it's also controlling our personal life force, for better or for worse, which causes us to either feel, excuse me, to feel alive or to almost feel like we're on a zombie level. How many people can relate to that? How many of you truly feel alive each day? Or do you feel like you wake up, you go do your thing on autopilot mode? Which one of those do you guys feel? Let's have a truth moment. Because I'll be truthful. Most of my days, I do feel like I'm on autopilot, right? So when I feel that way, I don't feel alive. I feel like I'm just, just kind of living and well, more existing than living, right? And I think that's what most people are seeking, is to truly feel alive. So as we learned, a chakra, like we talked about in the beginning and in the welcome video, and we talked about yesterday, it can be excessive, right? Or it can be deficient. So we've learned that a chakra can be overactive, and we're going to learn today about what that really means. Because what a lot of people think is, oh, if a chakra is overactive, then that just means it was healthy, but you're operating too much out of it. I'm going to tell you a different approach to that, and it's going to make so much make sense, okay? So if we are operating too much in one chakra, what that really means is that we are overcompensating, okay? So we're overcompensating and we're doing it as a strategy. So what it is like, let's say that you didn't get enough attention growing up. Okay. So now what you're doing without even meaning, without even realizing it, everything that you're doing, you're having a hidden meaning to actually get attention. So, not even realizing it, when you go and you're working and you're doing things, you're trying desperately to get an approval, to get an attention. When you're meeting new friends, you're trying desperately to get their attention, their acceptance. Without realizing it, everything that you're doing is to get attention. That would mean that that chakra is overactive because that's all you're doing is operating out of that. So when that happens, another chakra is is not getting the energy that it deserves and it's pulling away from it. So now you're going to have an underactive chakra to compensate for the overactive chakra. That's why I teach a lot about how if one chakra is out of whack, then more than likely several of them are going to be out of whack, trying to compensate for the ones that are working overtime or undertime, right? So we have some comments coming in that people are just coasting through, mostly stuck on zombie mode. Depends on the day for me, right? Yep, sometimes zombie, sometimes I feel alive. So sometimes autopilot mode. So these are perfect. Thank you for bringing these in. So it really does depend on the day. My son is sending me notes about Avatar. And it's funny because when you guys said yesterday that this reminds you of Avatar. So this is so anyways, so that's what will happen is that you may be, without even realizing it, working on a chakra overload. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more. Not a problem. Stephanie said, I'm at work. I'll have to watch it later. Well, we will see you later, beautiful. Georgette said, I did a meditation last night on the root chakra and my body was going in a counterclockwise. Wow. So is that worker the right way? Is that working the right way? Is that what you meant? Can you explain that for me a little bit, Georgette? So anyway, another thing is if you felt powerless, let's give another example. If you felt powerless as a child and growing up, now what you may be doing without realizing it is seeking situations where you can be in control, where you can feel powerful, where you can feel successful. So you may have an overactive chakra in that area because you're overcompensating. Is this making sense on the overactive? Right? So I just wanted to explain the difference because a lot of people, when they're teaching about chakras, they teach you that, oh, this chakra may be blocked or this chakra may, have debris in it, but they're not teaching you that it also could be that you're just overcompensating. So now it's overactive. So we got overactive and underactive. I want to make understanding the difference. So go ahead and type in the comments if this makes sense to everybody, because it definitely made some light bulbs go off for me. So where this can be hazardous is that the body is now having to work on overload, okay? And so a deficiency would be an avoidance. So an avoidance to the emotion, meaning that you don't want to go there. So what's going to happen is now that chakra is doing what? Go ahead and write in the comments. What do you think that chakra is doing if you're avoiding something? So let's say you're saying, I'm going to pull, um, let's say I don't want to deal with the relationship anymore. I'm just going to avoid love. Okay. Just going to avoid love. So now what's happening is your body and that chakra in your heart chakra, now all of a sudden your body in that area, there's not going to be a lot of energy flowing through there. So you may notice that now all of a sudden you're starting to see your posture change. You may notice that you're now starting to have neck and shoulder problems because what's happening is your body is compensating where the energy is lacking. Your body was not meant to not have energy flow through it. So when the energy doesn't flow through it, your body will react to that. Oh, good. So everybody's chiming in about now how they're understanding about the overactive versus the underactive chakra. It's so important that you know both, because if you're doing work and you're really trying to understand your body, you've got to understand the difference of, oh my gosh, this is why I feel so buzzy or dizzy in this part of my body. It's because it's overreacting. Oh, this is why I feel so, I don't have any energy. I don't have blah, blah, blah in this area, because it's underactive. So once we figure out which is the two in each chakra, then we can really figure out the root issue. Okay. Georgette, remind me later about that question so that I can get back to it. Oh, good. Service saying yes, it makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. Good. Okay. Yes, shuts down. Exactly. Hi, Lotus. Excuse me. Hi, Lotus. Hi, Mari. So anyway, this is why oftentimes one chakra, like I said earlier, is impacted by another chakra because they're pulling away from another one to get energy off of the healthy one. So if we close down in our heart, like I used an example a minute ago, and we rarely receive energy in our heart, then the body starts to close down around it. And this is why, and a bunch of light bulbs are going to go off. This is why the chakra system is so important to be healthy, because it literally affects your health. So if your body starts to close down in that area, then you are going, because that what it means is there's no life force happening in that area. Energy equals life. So if you don't have life force in that energy, you are going to have sickness. Okay. So once again, if your heart chakra is closed off and it's not receiving energy, the shoulders get rounded, you have a hard time breathing, you're going to have heart issues, chest issues. Making sense? It's crazy, isn't it? Okay. So eventually what happens then, if those chakras are working on overload and your body's always in a state of shock, trying to make up for where the energy is not, this will eventually lead to disease in the body. Okay, because disease is basically an imbalance of either too much energy, sending it into overdrive, or not enough energy, sending it into overload, trying to recompensate. This is why I think it is so important that we should all learn about chakras and teach our teach our children about chakras, so that in return, they don't have health issues in the future. Okay. So now let's dive in. Now that we got all that out of the way, does anybody have any questions about what I went over? And has anybody ever had that explained to them like that? Because that's when I knew, when I heard that from Judith, I thought, wow, I really need to teach my clients about this. And because I'm dealing with their trauma, but I'm not dealing with the energy trauma. And once I incorporated this in their inner child healing, everything changed for my clients. So many things changed for them. So the second chakra, which you guys, I want you to still keep chiming in what you think the sacral chakra is. So we had 2 comments. I want to hear a couple more about what you think that it is. That's okay. You can go back and watch it. Stephanie, I'm glad you're here. So now I want you to guess. You guessed what it is, and I want you to guess, where do you think it is? So last night we learned about the first chakra, which was in the root. And we learned that's all about abundance. And we learned so many things about when you have deep aggression, it's going to be stored here. This is also, the root is also the house of the inner child, the inner unprocessed emotions, right? Anger, self-confidence, self-acceptance, right? So we learned so much about that. We also learned when it's healthy, when the root is healthy, that we're able to really manifest material success, and we're able to express ourselves. We feel grounded. We have vitality, security. We learn where it was located. Okay. So Elaine said, no, I've never really heard it shared this way. Really cool. Perfect. So anyway, let's dive. Okay. So let's dive in here. So the sacral chakra is your second chakra. Georgia, what you saying, girl? She said, oh my God. What you saying, girl? Okay, so what color? We had red last night. What color do you guys think that it is? I know I'm asking a lot of questions because I want you to be interactive, interactive, interactive. So this color is orange. Now, what is so beautiful about this chakra is there's quite a few things, but the sacral chakra is the center of creativity. Kim said it rules your connection with your physical self. Okay. So it's your center of creativity. Okay. What's also cool about it is that it's in your lower abdomen, but it's also, if you place your hands in the back area, it's also right by your sacrum, which is the triangular shape of your bone, okay, between the bones of the pelvis. So this is why a lot of us have like hip problems in this area. We will have problems almost in our buttock area, like, pain, sciatic nerves. That's where a lot of this is stored. Okay. Sacrum, what is cool? Good job, you guys. Orange, orange. So sacrum also means sacred place. And why this place is so sacred is because this is your house of creativity. Now, I have a lot of women that will come to me when we're doing chakra work and they'll say, "Hey, Leah, I am not fertile. I can't have children." Um, because this is also your house of fertility. And so a lot of women start tuning it out when I talk about this area because they feel that this does not apply to them. However, that couldn't be further from the truth. We are all able to create a form of life, even if it's not a physical one. Everything that you do, when you have an idea and you have a thought and you turn it into action, you've created life to something. Okay. You have a purpose, and it may not be to have that physical child or whatever that is, but I promise you it is something and some way of creating life for someone else because you exist. So this can be creating ideas in your business, creating ideas to help people. It's so much more than just creating life in a physical form. So this is also the place where we store emotions, unprocessed emotions, unhealthy emotions, and healthy emotions. Sometimes this area gets so bogged down and confused because there's so many emotions in there, it doesn't know which one to pick. That's why this is also a really important one to give attention to so that we can help when we breathe, we can help the ones that we don't want to be in there have somewhere to go. This is also a place where we respond and react to relationships. Okay. That's why it's so important that we're giving love to this house down there. Because when we are creating, oftentimes, like I said, we're thinking of creating a physical life, but we're also not thinking of what we create in relationships. Are we creating drama? Are we creating a safe place for someone to go? Are we creating support? Oftentimes, this is the place of a reflection of what was created for us in relationships, what was created for us with emotions. Was it healthy? Think about that. If those things weren't healthy, that's the energy that is giving life to those things now. Make sense? Here's another one. This is also the place for men and women where we store sexual trauma, sexual pleasure, sexual energy, sexual rejection, sexual fantasies, all of that house is housed down there. If you are really working on trying to have a healthy relationship, you want to also have a healthy point of view with sexuality. This is being able to give and receive pleasure and have that balance. If you never received that, if you were taught that that was wrong, that was dirty, once again, this is the energy that is giving life to the sexual creativity in your life now. Okay. This is also another place for where you store your self-worth. If as a child you did not ever feel worthy or feel valuable in your own skin, feel like accepted in your own skin, then now you are going around searching for that. It's bleeding out of you, but you don't realize that. So everywhere you go, every relationship you have, every job you take, you are searching for self-worth. big, right? This is huge. You guys were thinking, damn, I'm just trying to do a free course, Leah. I didn't know I was going to have to deal with all this shit. So, as you can see, there's so much. So, this is also, once again, our place for creativity, okay? And empathy. If you never had empathy shown to you as a child, then now, once again, you are searching for it everywhere you go. If, as a child, every time you went to create something, it was rejected, and your parents said, oh my gosh, you're not that talented, or art will never get you that far, whatever, or, it's just kind of never seen, never really appreciated, then you probably now have pushed back your acceptance of your own creativity. You think, oh gosh, I'm not really that talented. There's so many more people talented than me. So you start pushing back your acceptance of your gifts, your passion. So this is why, you guys, once again, we have got to become aware of these emotional energy centers because they're huge. We've only uncovered 2 chakras. Only 2. Elaine said, I just went through this. Wow, this is huge, so true, and it runs deep. Do you get how, if we understand these things and understand this is how we're responding is because of these emotional centers are out of whack, how much more connected we will feel to our body if we just begin to understand what the hell our body is telling us. Our body is telling us what we're craving. And the truth of the matter is, I know we've heard it 1,000 times a day. We can't get that from anybody else but us. So when you're doing this chakra work, what you are doing is you are truly becoming one with accepting your emotions, one with accepting your body, but more importantly, one with hearing the words of the Creator of how to truly find happiness within. Madi said this, there is a lot, and I hope people take advantage of your course. Well, thank you. Georgia said this is really big. Madi said, I love my sacral and the wounds. Kim said, whew. Let's do that. Let's take a deep breath. Ready? Breathe in through the nose and breathe out. So I'm trying to not go really long on this live, but this is a really important chakra. So if it's balanced, if your chakra is balanced, meaning it's healthy and energy is flowing the way that it should, you're going to feel comfortable in social situations. You're not going to push your voice down out of the fear of you're not going to be accepted because you're not doing things for acceptance. You're doing things to just simply do them because you enjoy them, right? It's not for an approval. It's not to build your self-worth. It's not to, you know, get that relationship. It's actually just for your own liking. Okay. So you're going to feel more comfortable in social situations. You're going to feel passion. You're going to feel pleasure. You're going to feel trust, true trust, and spontaneity and spontaneous. I struggle with that word. Don't judge me. So if it's imbalanced, you're going to find that you have really rigid beliefs. You judge yourself a lot for wanting sex. You cut yourself off from being pleasure. You're resentful. You're very judgmental. You find yourself really pushing down, being creative, avoiding it. You really struggle in relationships. You probably are not you're probably not operating out of an emotional intelligence. Instead, you take things super personal. Everything affects you in a negative way somehow. It's always about somebody out to get you. You very rarely see empathy. Instead, it's just you constantly operate in the state of rejection. This is meaning there's not necessarily anything wrong with you at all. In fact, there's not. You just have way too much energy in this area, way too much. Because as a child, this area needed your attention. Okay. So now as an adult, that's all it's getting. So your other chakras are needing your attention too. However, they're trying to overcompensate that this one didn't get it. So we have to move those wheels around to where they're getting it all together instead of just this one. Nothing is wrong with you, I promise. You just need a little bit of washing and a little bit of cleaning in that chakra just to feel balanced. It was a way to protect you, but it doesn't need to protect you anymore. So, what's cool about this chakra wheel and cool about this chakra in particular is that below we had the root chakra that was the color red. This one is the color of orange. The chakra above this is the color yellow. Okay. What's cool is that compromise, excuse me, of red and yellow makes orange. So, see how they all work together? So red symbolizes personality, while yellow symbolizes wisdom, which is why the integration of the two colors are capable of overcoming anger once we establish self-control. So this is also why this chakra is so imperative that it's healed, because it's essential to our health and our vitality. All right. So anyways, what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you just a little bit more about the chakra, and then we're going to get into the breathing. So, what this area is responsible for is your reproductive system. So, if you have reproductive disorders, infertility, PMS, irregular periods, men not being able to produce semen or to be able to um, get an erection, this is that this area is probably underactive. Also, if you struggle with bowel movements not flowing in harmony, bladder problems, lower back pains, and this is just a few because it's a mini course, but I can go into full detail of all the things this area controls. So if it's overactive or underactive, chances are, if it's been that way for too long, you are going to start seeing these physical things leak out. Okay. So they always start off as an emotion. The emotion tries to get your attention, and it starts to be the main way you react and respond. When the emotion doesn't win by getting your attention, then it becomes agitation. Sometimes that turns into anxiety. When that doesn't get your attention, it then becomes physical. The physical is telling you this, whatever this emotion is literally taking over your life. It's taking over your mind, and now it's taking over your body. And until you get it under control, it will take over you. Okay. So if this area is not operating in the way that it's supposed to be, you're going to find yourself in a state of envy, a state of jealousy, a desire to possess and control every situation, especially in relationships, and have sexual difficulties. Go ahead and write in the comments when you don't receive those things that I've mentioned when I was telling you about those things, okay? When you don't receive a healthy relationship, when your sexuality has been repressed, when you're not feeling worthy, when you're not feeling heard, creative, empathy, what do you guys do? How do you respond? Do you shut down? Do you seek validation? Do you seek approval? Do you turn to social media? Let's hear them in the comments so that people can see examples of how they're operating out of their sacral chakra without even realizing it. Last night, you guys were super brave with sharing some of the ways that you react in your root when you're not feeling safe and secure. I want to hear today, how do you react when you're not feeling those things that we've went over? So while you guys are typing those in, when this chakra is flowing the way that it's supposed to, you're going to have a very healthy balance of giving and receiving. You're going to receive joy, pleasure. You're going to feel creativity just flow through you. You're going to have lots and lots of new ideas and be able to react to them. You are going to feel comfortable in your sexuality, and you're going to be able to really feel support in your family. Thank you, Madi, for sharing. So we have, I feel sad. I shut down. And when we shut down, what do we do? Do we spend hours and hours in the room? Do we watch mindless TV? what do we do? Elaine said, I seek validation. That's very much what I do, 100%. I start trying to find it from any and everything that makes me feel good, 100%. Madi said, I'm mad and I'm ready to react and punch, and I know it's not okay, but exactly. Shamika said, that part of me has been shut down for a while now, and I'm just now starting to change that. You know what, Shamika? That's beautiful. It was shut down to protect you. And you have done a beautiful job at reparenting it and now telling it that it's safe for you to find a different approach. That, my friend, is beyond worth celebrating, because very few people even get there. They live their life so much just shut down that they don't even begin to seek how to reopen. Beautiful work, Shamika. These are great, you guys. Same here. Same here, Georgette. She said, I binge watch TV because it's a mindless escape. It's a mindless escape. Another thing that I do is I binge eat. I will seek the validation in the food. The food doesn't reject me, right? So it feels great going down, but then it does the opposite after it sat there for a few minutes. Okay, so these were amazing. So before we dive into the chakra sounds in this area, does anybody have any questions about this chakra? And thank you guys again for being interactive. So, your question for tonight, your journal prompt for tonight is going to be, in what ways in my life am I being creative right now? What am I creating? Okay. And I want you to really sit with that. What am I creating? Am I creating joy in my relationships? Am I creating sadness? Am I creating judgment? Am I creating grudges? Am I creating acceptance? What am I creating? When it comes to my emotions, what am I creating? Am I creating a place that it's safe for me to have days where I'm angry, or am I trying to repress them and hurry through them? Am I having days? Am I having times where I'm creating a comfortable place for me to have a great sexual experience, or am I creating rejection and not feeling pleasure? What am I creating in my life? Okay. And I want you to write down as much that comes to you, good, bad, the ugly, positive, negative, all of it. Write it down, because the more you really see what you're creating, the more you can really get a handle of if it's what you want to create, right? Or if it's what you're ready to just release. I am so there with you on that too, Georgette. She said, I don't like confrontation. I know this can be hard, but the truth of the matter is, we're creating every day, and we want to really get a handle on what that really is. Oftentimes, like we shared earlier, we're living in that state of that autopilot, and we're not even aware of what we're creating. We're creating numbness. We're creating shut off, a closed mindedness, right? That's not what any of us want to create. We want to create a place where we feel alive, right? What would it feel like to feel alive? For me, it would feel like joy and peace and laughter and fun and childlike energy and love. It would feel at peace. I'm sure I already said that, but clearly that's what I need. So it's not meant to be hard, but the reason why it feels hard is because we're living the polarity of it. The beauty of really coming to terms with this is you get to live the opposite end. That's what we're wanting, right? Okay, so that's your homework. What am I creating? And really think about those things in that sacral chakra that we talked about: emotions, relationships, sexuality, self work, creativity, and empathy. And really examine in your life, what are you creating in those areas? So, your mantra, and we're going to say it 7 times. Are you ready? It's, I am creative, and I'm creating life that I want. Okay, y'all ready? So go ahead and place your little triangle. Remember our triangle? Place your triangle. Do you guys remember where the sacral chakra is? So it's in your lower abdomen, right underneath the belly button. Great answer, Elaine. Go ahead and place your hands there for me. Get familiar with it and gently just rub in a circular motion. Say hi to it, wink at it. Hey girl, how you doing? Hey boy, how you doing? Talk to it. So, ready? I am creative and I'm creating the life that I want. I am creative and I'm creating the life that I want. I am creative and I am creating the life that I want. I am creative and I am creating the life that I want. I am creative and I am creating the life that I want. Two more. I am creative and I am creating the life that I want. I am creative and I'm creating the life that I want. Feel how beautiful that felt? Just become aware and physically just touch that chakra. Think about how often do we even do that? It's very rare. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, oh, and just to give you a few ways, like I said, this is the mini course, but in the masterclass, I really dive into more ways on how to open this, and to do different tools. But what do you guys think that you could do to really help and awaken this sacral chakra? So if we went over that this is your house for creativity and relationships and all of that yumminess, what do you guys think collectively as a community you can personally do every day to help activate that chakra? So, one would naturally be, of course, to be in healthy relationships, to create healthy relationships for yourself, to create boundaries to make sure those relationships are healthy, to maybe join a community group, right? Where you feel supported, join a meetup group and be able to do the things that you love. And you'll feel that acceptance from that group because they also enjoy those things. Trying a new activity, doing something that involves water, because this chakra is also affiliated with water, and also nurturing yourself. So sometimes when I'm in a really stressful situation, I know I'm operating in that area, from my sacral area, I will go and I'll splash water in the bathroom on my face, and that just kind of just puts me back in tune with reality and gets me out of my past for a moment. Wonderful. Stephanie's on it, girl. You've been paying attention. Eat orange food. Once again, why it's so important in Leo world to eat the chakra, okay, system. So the rainbow system. Try to eat the rainbow one meal a day, and you are at least giving each chakra a little bit of deeply rooted food, and food that also help activate that energy and make it flow the way it's supposed to. A great way to do that, honestly, is to eat smoothies. Drink smoothies each day and fill them up with the colors of the rainbow. Fill it up with orange, okay? So you've got the oranges in there. You've got where you're really activating energy and sending energy into the sacral. You can put grapes in there, strawberries in there to really activate the root. Uh, get your heart activated by the kiwi, okay? Spinach, kale, bananas, get your yellow in there, blueberries. I mean, there's so much that you can put in there to really activate. So that's why I like doing a smoothie, because I just throw it all in there, or have a beautiful salad. So I know that we're going a little overboard, and I appreciate you guys giving me a little bit more of your time. Good for you, Stephanie. So our most intimate relationships often bring up a lot of emotions from our past. And the way that these can be activated, is through being a human. Like I've talked about in previous classes I've had, animals don't feel the way that we feel when it comes to relationships. This is the uniqueness that comes in being a human. So I want to make sure that we're really nurturing those intimate relationships and doing things that make you feel whole in them and make you both feel loved in them. So also make sure that you're doing this with feeling the love within yourself. And you're also really repairing the relationship with you. Oftentimes, when we say the word relationship, our mind instantly goes to repairing relationships on the outside, and it doesn't focus on the inside. And what happens is we can fix all those relationships out on the outside, but there's always going to be a deep longing until we fix the one within. So these are simple ways to do that. Great job, you guys. Yes, eating raw. Exactly. Shamika said eating lots of salads. Good for you. Cook seafood. There we go. So we've got so many great ideas. Hi, Mom. Hi, Angela. Okay, so anyway, we have dove so much into that. We've actually went 50 minutes, so let's start wrapping up. So we've done our mantra, we've done our homework, we've learned all about the sacral chakra. Now let's do our deep breath work in that area. So these are the chakra activation sounds that I've went over with you guys, and this is what I do personally with my clients. And normally, like I said, I don't normally teach people how to do this because I think that you really should have a guide to help you when you're dealing with these chakra systems, because a lot of them have suppressed energy in them. And that's why I wanted to make sure that you guys have a buddy to help you through this. So please get an accountability partner since you're not working with me personally, so that you can have somebody kind of hold your hand through that if stuff comes up. Exactly. I love the way that you said that. Elaine said, me first, and then the universe follows. 100%. 100%. Thank you, Angela. Georgette said, that's funny. I said relationship with myself and my throat chakra closed. And you know what? And we'll get into that too. But why would you think that your throat chakra would close when you would say that? If anything, to me, it would open because you are speaking your truth. So I think that's super powerful. Okay. So yesterday I taught you guys some chakra activation sounds, and you guys experienced so many cool things. Those messages were amazing I got, by the way. I was loving. Oh my God, I'm buzzing. So what you were doing was you were sending life to that area. And sometimes what happens is that area has been working on overflow to overcompensate. So it hasn't really felt energy. Okay. It's been pulling it from everywhere else, but it hasn't felt its own energy. So you may be buzzing because you're feeling that, or it may be because it was so low that you're finally starting to feel it for the first time. So just know that it's a great thing when you're feeling that buzzing and that tingling sensation when we go over these. But I want to make sure that you're also doing grounding exercises so that the whole body is feeling the energy and not just one chakra. Okay, so let's dive in. So, yesterday we learned the chakra sound LAM, and we learned how to breathe in and do that deep exhale and inhale and what that did for that space. So now what we're going to do is we're going to learn a different chant. This chant, once again, I want you, when you say it, you're going to kind of close down on your mouth when you say it so that you can feel the vibration of the M in your teeth. You can feel it kind of buzz through your body. That's what's really doing the work. Okay. So as always, we're going to do a practice one, and then we're going to do some really deep sun energy breathing, meaning energy that's really going to warm us up, okay, and energize the body. And then we're also going to do moon energy that's going to help us calm and chill out. So these are great little tips to know when you are in a stressful situation. If you're needing energy, you're going to now know an activation tool on how to instantly get energy. And if you're needing to release energy, you're going to now learn the tool on how to do that. Sound good? Okay. So everybody still hear me okay? All right, so let's go in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start with the chant. So this chant is VAM. So it's VAAMM. So I want us to practice and really feel it tingle your teeth. Okay, place your hands right here. So you can feel it just for the practice one. Okay, we ready? VAM. Feel that? One more practice one. See how my teeth are closed down? Vam. All right, so I want you to do 11 of these, and I want you to try to do them as loud as you can. Okay, I know you may have people in your home, but this is really going to activate that sacral chakra. So now take your hands off your face and place them down below that navel. Okay, and we're going to do 11 of them. So try to do it loud and as long as you can. Vam. Vam. Faster. Vam. 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 Slower. Vam. 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 Final. Vam. Large inhale. Large exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Faster. Two more. Okay, so we did two things there. We did a lot of really quick, rapid breathing, breath of fire style breathing, which is in Kundalini, and we also sound activation. How does everybody feel? Really check in with that sacral. Do you feel a tingly? Do you feel a warmth? Do you feel a coolness? How do you feel? Spend a moment with that sacral. Check in. After you guys check in, I'm going to teach you one more thing and then we're going to hop off for the night. Vibrating. I love it. Light. Perfect. So when you're feeling this vibration and you're feeling this lightness, know that you just did some powerful work for your spirit. And that was in 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes of work, you are already feeling a difference. Can you imagine if you did that every day and you did it for more than a few minutes? Tingly on the bottom of my feet, that's because you are sending a grounding sensation through your body. Okay, really dizzy. So what you did, Stephanie, you probably, what that is telling me is you did not have a lot of energy in that chakra. So you sent a lot of energy, maybe too quickly, and now your body is just needing to just kind of calm down for a minute. So that's great. You still did very beautiful, powerful work. So I want you, while we're doing this other part, I want you to just take very slow, deep breaths in and very slow, deep breaths out. Just applying a little bit of continue to tell yourself that you're safe and that you're grounded. Okay. Nothing wrong. You just have a lot of energy going on and you needed to do that. So just make sure that you are just continuing to send that energy in other places. Good. You're feeling warmth. So you are creating circulation in areas that you might not have had it. So now your body is flowing in harmony. Perfect. So now I'm going to teach you that little trick that I was telling you about the moon energy and the negative, the negative. I'm buzzing too from that. The moon energy and the sun energy. So what we're going to do is we're going to alternate nostrils. And this is going to feel a little weird. And this is an advanced technique, but I just, for some reason, I'm feeling called to do this tonight. And I'm really feeling like I also wanted to teach this to Maudie. So I hope she's still on. But this is, oh, good. She said, I love doing this work and ending it with the bath. And that's what I make all my clients do. Anytime that we do this type of work, because we don't know what's going to come up, the way that I always recommend they ground themselves is to take an Epsom salt bath, Put a little few drops of essential oil in there if you can. Sit in the bath for as warm as you can have it for about 20 minutes, and then allow that to, once you're done, just allow all those emotions to release down the drain. This is a way of making your body feel safe, especially the inner child, to creating a calmness and peace, and just continuing to get that energy flowing. So, is everybody ready for this advanced method? Now, if at any point it's too much, just slow down, okay? Just slow down. Grab the wall. Oh, wait, wrong life. Okay, so I'm going to show you, because you're going to be like, what is this nut job doing? So when we're doing this activation, we're going to try to do it in harmony here, because what we're going to do is we're going to add the sun and moon energy together so that we can create almost like a gymnastics experience for our breathing. And this is going to create oxygen, and it's going to create a calmness, and it's going to create an energy, and it's going to give our body what it needs. So I'm going to start with one nostril so you can see how it's done, and then we'll go with the other one. So go ahead. I know it might look opposite to you, but place your right finger on your right nostril. Okay. This is your sun energy. This is what's going to energize you up and warm you up. So breathe in. People just hopping on the slide are like, what are they doing? Start over. Okay, ready? Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out. Next one. This is your moon energy that calms and chills you down. So when you're stressed out, you want to use this one. Okay, breathe in, out, in, out. Okay, now we're going to switch it up a little bit because you guys are scholars. You're ballers. All right, so you're going to do, just watch me. Okay, I want you to practice that and just go until I tell you to stop. Okay, so once again, right finger, right nostril. Got it? Everybody got it? Stephanie, behave. Stephanie said I did this a lot in the 90s. All right, ready? Okay, now try to go at your own pace, but ready, set, go. Stop. Breathe in. Breathe out. In, out. Left finger on left nostril. Breathe in really slow. Breathe out. Breathe in really slow. Breathe out again. Again. Two more. Okay. Next one. Two more. Deep breath in. Just calming the body down. I want you to just kind of imagine your feet becoming grounded and deeply rooted into the space that you're in. Begin to gently shake your hands, roll your ankles. Just breathing at your own pace now. Okay, you guys just did a super advanced move. Okay, you did a chakra activation that a lot of times you do not learn until you've been doing energy work for a while. So give yourself a pat on the back that you were able to do that. So let's hear, what did that nostril breathing do for you? And then we're going to go ahead and go. Wow, right? Wasn't that amazing? So you ways and a few things of what it is like to have a chakra overactive, to have a chakra underactive, to have a chakra healthy, to have a chakra that needs attention. You've learned mantras, you've learned a few breathing techniques. Okay. So, what I want you to do is once again, do that journal prompt, see what it brings up for you, and just give life to this chakra. Take some time tonight to just do your own breathing, whatever one really resonated with you tonight, and do that chant, that vom, if that felt good to you, even do that in the bath. Do what works for you. Okay? And if at any point a lot of things are coming up for you and you're like, you know what, Leah, I want to really talk to you and figure out what this would be like to have you as my guide to really learn these techniques a little bit more in depth, feel free to reach out to me. I always offer a complimentary 15-minute discovery call so I can tell you what we do and see if we're a good fit. So that way you don't have to do this alone. But if that's not something that you can do right now, start with where you are. Go on YouTube, find those meditations, go slow, and give yourself grace. You guys are doing amazing work. Georgetta said, wow. Yes, Elaine said it was a rush of energy. Anyone else? Yeah, she said, I love this. Perfect. So thank you guys. You're doing amazing work. And I love, love, love doing this course with you. If you feel at any time that anyone else would benefit from learning about this, invite them. There's still time for them. It's only day 2. They can easily get caught up. And what a great gift that you're giving them for free to be able to just learn more about their body. So thank you for tuning in tonight. Once again, I'm so sorry we went 30 minutes over, actually 40, but it was well worth it. Have a fantastic night, and we will catch up tomorrow where we dive into the solar plexus. So be sure that you're signed up and you're getting your emails with the times because tomorrow's time will be different. So, as always, I'll also send you the replay and a recap of what we went over. All right, guys, great work. You are so welcome. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.